Okay.
The distance from the cloth.
I'm measuring the mesh from the back of the clip to the end of the mesh.
Okay.
And I'm measuring it so I get an even amount across. Okay. Slide this end in.
Now I noticed that the roller moves when you did that. That won't send it off centered or anything.
Which roller?
Like when it keeps moving back and forth. Like
Oh, the frame, no. The roller is locked, so it's not rotating. The frame can move. That won't be an issue. All right, so the two long sides are on.
In order for that measurement to be accurate, you need to cut the screen square, right?
The mesh is actually, the mesh, in order for this to be straight, you just get a nice little clip here and tear it. It tears straight right down the thread. Okay?
But as long as you've measured it out correctly now, it shouldn't be off at all. You don't need to tear anything else.
Well, you want to make a habit of measuring. As you start to do more and more frames, you'll get it down to where you're just measuring maybe a couple of the sides. But it's always a good habit to just do it as you're going around.
The mesh has to stay perpendicular to your eyes. Otherwise, your angles really change if you're not perpendicular and parallel.
And that's how you can get those really fine. Okay. So it's going to take some much enough practice. Sounds like fun.
All right.
Now those are just literally pinching right in there.
They just fit right into the T-slot, and it just holds that mesh in there so I can slide the locking strip in.
Another reference to gutters.
Right in there.
Okay. So we've inserted the mesh on all four sides. Now, before we apply any screen tension on here, the main goal is to achieve your screen tension from the center out in your image area. Okay? So in order to achieve that, we have to be able to soften these corners, because if I don't soften these corners, this is the shortest point of your screen. So you're going to get tension here before you do in the center. So the way we would pre-soften the corners is you would put a clip back into the corners, a couple of clips, take a measurement. This is a corner softening tool. And I'm going to make a mark on the mesh here and all the corners just so you can see. If you want to come a little closer, you can get a better.
Like all this sagging isn't really going to affect it right now.
No, you'll see what happens as I apply tension. So what I'm going to do here is pre-soften the corner. I'm going to put my corner softening tool in here, push down on the corner, and you can see the mesh sliding out inward, right? And putting the line there just enables you to get a visual so that you're pushing it down evenly. All right. The clip is here to prevent the softening from going in any further on both sides. So I'm going to do that to all the corners. Again, this is all repeatability.
Are you like you're pushing it in like you would push those rocker things in?
I'm just chopping down on right down on the mesh, and as I do that, it allows the mesh to slide up underneath the locking strip. Okay. Typically, you would be doing this step on a separate table. So you would have another table maybe off to the side. So you would be doing it on that table. At the same time, this would be stretching a screen.
So somebody's stretching and you're doing this cornering?
Yeah, or you've got a screen on there that you've done, it's stretching, and then you can go start to prepare the next screen. That's why they turned out so well, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's got the clip in there to hold it. So things are moving around.
Okay, so the corners are softened. You can see by the marks I've got maybe a 1/2 inch taken in all the way on each corner. Okay, set it back down. Now I'm going to begin my initial tensioning process. I'm going to put my wrench up on the corner on the end plugs. Now we're using a torque wrench here because this is set to 45 pounds. So every time I go to tighten these bolts here and it clicks, it tells me to stop. It's at 45 pounds. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to loosen the rollers. All the way around. This is going to allow me to be able to rotate the rollers and get my initial tension in. So I'm going to check it. You can see that my rollers are loose now, right? All right. So now I'm going to go down to my air gauge here. I'm going to start at 20 pounds of air. That's just going to be enough for to get a reading on the tension meter. Okay, and it's not going to be high where you're going to rip the screen.
Is PSI in coordination or correlation with tension?
No, completely different. The PSI on the gauges have no direct relation to the tension on the meter. That's a good question. Okay, before I do that though, let's pull the meter out. Has anybody used a tension meter? Okay. And Lon, did you go over that in the room? Okay. So this is a tension meter. If you're ever curious about your screens and what kind of tension you're working with, this will tell you. The finger thing doesn't work. Okay? You'll be surprised if you think the screens are tight. You need to put a number to it. What does that mean?
You better have that.
Okay, so you're going to see, we're going to put the meter on several screens here, and you're going to get an idea maybe back of what you think you have. Okay, so the tension meter is a precision tool. So you want to always keep it in the box and treat it like it is, because this is a real high-end precision tool that's going to, it's like a stethoscope, you know, to your screens. You want to make sure it's feeling good, it's healthy. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the air on at this point
20 PSI.
at 20. Okay. So this is going to be our initial tension. We're calibrating the screen, and just at that little movement, I've got about 19 newtons right here.